Every 23rd of June is International Widows' Day, a day aimed at amplifying voices of widows facing injustice and discrimination and poverty across the world. In Nigeria, widows are subjected to many harmful traditional practices as well as stigma. A lot of them suffer various inhumane treatments in silence as they struggle to raise their fatherless children. In this story, Just Nigeria's Wale Fakile takes a look at what widowhood looks like in Nigeria and what can be done to protect this category of women.
The good that I have leased out to people, and they are now repaying me with wickedness after the death of my husband. I feel so bad. I weep.
In the heart of Nigeria's cultural diversity, where traditions and ethnicity meet, there's a chapter often shrouded in secrecy and stigma.
I went from, at one point, planning to kill myself because I got to that point.
It's a story of whispered wishes and worries while navigating a world reshaped by loss. Stripped of their marital cover, these women sometimes buckle under the weight of harmful customs and practices.
It's scary. It's not nice. Imagine you are going through a lot and the family members are putting a lot on you.
And while the struggles seem endless, they carry on in resilience and hope. Nigeria, the world's most populous black nation, is home to more than 100 million women, about half of its estimated 200 million people. About 8 million of this figure are widows, women who have lost their husbands and are unmarried. Like in most societies of the world, patriarchy, where descent is traced through males, is the predominant system here. Men dominate the socio-economic fabric of such societies, and women are expected to be subservient. Add religious and cultural diversity to this cocktail, and the result is what experts describe as a systemic abuse of widows. This woman says she was rudely thrown into that terrible situation after her husband died 2 years ago. She asked to be kept anonymous for fear of being further victimized by her late husband's family.
At times, when I remember the good that I have leased out to people, and they are now repaying me with wickedness after the death of my husband, I feel so bad. I weep. I weep. I cry unto God. I say, Father, are you recording these tears? I hope these tears, they are in your water skin. Remember me.
What were the things your husband's family took from you?
They took his phone. The house we built at Okota, they took it. Some of the things I left in the village, they tampered with it. In our office, because we had an office in Ijaraba, bus stop, opposite Luth. They sold every damn thing that was there without our consent. They took everything, every damn thing, everything. They took everything from us.
She now sells these thrift items to support herself and her only child, a daughter in Lagos. Her story mirrors some of the economic horrors widows face in Nigeria, as some traditions bar women from inheriting land and property. But there are even more harmful and dehumanizing practices associated with widowhood. Hope Nwakwese's husband passed on more than 25 years ago in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. She says she was moved out of the bustling city and taken to a village in southeast Nigeria, where she went through a compulsory mourning period and was compelled to mourn her husband for a year.
Immediately after his burial, the women took me behind the house, at the back, it's usually done at the back, and they shaved my hair. So after shaving my hair, we had to stay Izuisa. Izuisa is a 28 days compulsory sitting at one place. Every 2 a.m., I will come out the mama, the oldest mama in the clan, and my husband's place. She will come and lead us. We will cry around the grave. And I came back here to Lagos to find my way, try to survive. So 1 year after, I went back to the village to do the same thing, but I didn't have to stay. They have to shave my hair again and remove all the clothes that I wore because I had to wear black. I wore 2 dresses for 1 year, one black, one white. So I had to, that was the only thing I wear. So that very day we went back for that 1 year. They shaved my hair again. They now made a bait outside, not outside on the public, I bait on the bathroom and brought the things they used, my hair, the clothes I wore, and we kept it and burnt it.
Hope also tells me she was sexually abused after being laid off from work in less than 3 months of losing her husband.
And I walked into his office. Maybe he must have been seeing me come and go into that general office. And he stood up. When he was coming in, I thought he wanted to greet me. And the next thing I saw, on ceremony, he just grabbed my 2 breasts. I froze. I was standing up. I looked at him. I didn't know what to do. I just turned back and I left the office. I went to my car and I wept.
This ill treatment and stigma are sometimes transferred to the widow's children. Samuel lost his dad when he was still a toddler. Now a teenager, he says he's sometimes still painfully reminded of this fact.
I said, you that your mom, I don't even know where she's working or so. I was like, I don't even take care of you. I always wear one clothes every time. Anytime I see you, you're just looking so unkept. I was like, guy, that doesn't mean anything. I take care of myself when I have to take care of myself. And my mom is trying her best to do what she can. But nobody actually believed. Everybody just walked out. They're just feeling like, yes, he didn't do this. I felt downgraded, left out. Nobody actually came near me for like some time.
At the very center of the discrimination meted out to widows and their children is culture. It plays a huge role in shaping attitudes towards widows and often reinforces practices that further expose them to abuse. Despite efforts to address the challenges, these attitudes and traditions persist in many parts of Nigeria. This monarch says some of the customs are optional in his community.
The mood of mourning, it is optional. If the woman decides to wear black for the period of mourning, the woman is free to wear black throughout the mourning period, which is 1 year or 6 months as the case may be.
In 2010, the United Nations set aside the 23rd of June every year as International Widows' Day. The day is observed globally to raise awareness about the discrimination faced by widows. Divine James has been organizing a charity walk to commemorate the day in Nigeria in the last 2 years.
I have a lot of young widows. They don't want to be associated with widows because of the stigma. I mean, these things are not things that we ask for. These things are not things that we wish for, but they happen. And because it's nature, we have to accept it. We have to encourage them. We have to show love to them. Because look, I haven't even gotten over my grandma. I haven't gotten over my mom. Let alone if I was married to the love of my life and he died. How will I feel? And then going out there, people are mocking me, people are making jest of me, they're laughing at me because I'm a widow. Did I cause that for myself? No.
In May 2015, former President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, VAP, into law. The law criminalizes harmful traditional practices such as widowhood, but implementation has been slow.
Abolish widowhood practices. When you go to the first VMPP Act, you see it is one of the things they put it down. I said, the issue of widowhood is massive to just take a clause and hide it under another project. That is part of the problem. That is the silence. That is the omission. The UN said they are omitted in every cycle. I said, no. Women are being collected. Their children are being collected from them. Their houses are being collected from them. They are undergoing all sorts of practices. You have to put them in black and white and put some sort of punishment or whatever the terminology is on it.
However, some states have taken the bull by the horns to pass laws specifically meant to protect widows. Southern River State passed a law in 2019 and North Central Benue State introduced the same in 2023.
A property left behind by her husband should not be touched. The family need to allow the woman who should be the beneficiary of this property to use it to take care of her children. Secondly, the woman should not be shaved. In some community, you discover that when such a woman loses her husband, you discover that she will be forced to shave her head. Not only her head, sometimes her private parts.
All these prohibitions, they have some penalties that if anybody defaults, person will be punished. They say in this, I hope it's 18, any person who subject a widow to any harmful widowhood practice, as provided under Section 17 of this law, commit an offense and shall be liable on conviction to imprisonment for a term which may extend to 7 years or fine not exceeding 500,000 or with both.
Additionally, activists and some cultural custodians say the first step towards tackling the challenges of widowhood in Nigeria is by addressing socio-cultural attitudes that promote discrimination and stigma.
We want the government to step into this, pass a policy, let the kings, everybody talk to their people, let's change some tradition. I'm not saying that the Africans should get rid of their tradition, but I am saying that what is good for the man should also be good for the woman. The widowers cannot be having a lot of good time when their wife passes and the women are being subjected into wearing white or wearing black, shaving their hair.
Most people now can choose their wives while alive as their next of kin. And there is no point if the man departs, the relatives of the man will start claiming the property. It should be, the woman should inherit the property.
Widowhood in Nigeria remains rooted in the web of cultural, legal and economic complexities. Entangled in this maze are women bearing the brunt of sometimes harmful societal norms and expectations while struggling to accept the stark reality of losing a beloved spouse. Wale Fakile, Gist Nigeria.
Indeed, Nigerian widows need all the care and support they can get. What are your thoughts on the plight of Nigerian widows? Tweet to us at Gist Nigeria TV. Would like to hear your views.